Well, hello everybody. This is the King coming at you from the Rose City Rollers, and we are getting this game underway. As you know, we had our special announcement right before the game here. This game is for fun, Frank, and right now on the line you're going to see Ovarian Barbarian and Commander Balls as your jammers. Commander Balls out first up against the last line of defense. That's going to be your mom's favorite, trying to lock her down. Ginger Raff joined in the fun, and they're getting pushed all the way through the apex in turn two. Commander Balls pulls her way right on through that pack. Ovarian Barbarian still stuck in the back. She's got her cap in hand. Finally found an opening, but Toxic Haze escorts her out of bounds and to the ground on the inside line. Commander Balls back around, has already passed most of the skaters. Your mom's favorite did get a piece of her, take her out of bounds in turn two. 4 points picked up, though, as she was out of play. Ovarian Barbarian is still stuck in the pack. She is locked down in turn two, hitting that straightaway. Excellent defense being put down by the Heartless Heathers right now. Dez is one of the folks dragging her back. They are going to meet in the back. Bellstar and Toxic Haze also round Ovarian Barbarian. They took her out in the straightaway. Direction of play penalty is going to be called on Ginger Raff for the Breakneck Betties, and Ovarian Barbarian is finally out of that pack. Commander Balls does call off that jam, and this jam comes to an end. A very quick and powerful start for the Heartless Heathers. I would like to give a big shout out to Bridgeport Brewing. If you are ever in the hangar for a bout, what you can do is check your Bridgeport Brewing beer cup. And we do like to give some beer away to some of our lucky winners, and it will be marked on your beer cup. They're a great sponsor of ours, so if you're ever around or at the store, pick up some Bridgeport Brewing. Just like that, Tegan and Scaria is out of the pack. Beyond a Thunder Dame is the opposing jammer. She is still stuck at the pivot line. Looks like there will be a penalty that is called on one of the Heathers. And finally, Beyond Thunder Dame is out of the pack. This jam does come to an end. Tegan and Scaria got knocked out of bounds, picked up all 5 of the points as she passed all of those blockers out there on the track. And they are sitting right now at 15-0. With 2 jams under our belts, Breakneck Betties have yet to get on the scoreboard. There will be a actually, there is no pack advantage. Both teams have 3 on the track in the blocker war. You're going to see Headache, and she will be going up against Abracadaver. Headache, with a great move on the outside line. One skates, it turns backwards, and she's out of the pack as your lead jammer. Abracadabra really muscling up against Bellstar. Bellstar indicating she might have got hit in the face, but no call, no whistle, and we're going to keep skating. Headache is back in there. She gets bumped around trying to get past Ripley and gets knocked out of bounds while she calls off that jam. I'd like to thank OHSU Sports Medicine. They are proud to be the official medical care team of the Rose City Rollers. Now we are going to have a slight pack advantage as all 4 of the blockers are out there for the Breakneck Betties, and 2 of the Heartless Heather skaters are camped out in the penalty box. We are going to see Mia Palau and Gallifrey as our jammers. Gallifrey, of course, a Wheels of Justice member, and she is quickly through the pack at the top of the apex, taking the outside line. And Mia Palau picking up a penalty, and she is in the penalty box. Quickly, Gallifrey gets through. I don't think she realized she was in a power jam, but if you know Gallifrey, you know she is one heck of a fast person. She got through, picked up 5 points, put the Breakneck Betties on the board, and calls this jam dead. Still a pack advantage for the Breakneck Betties, and they've got a power jam advantage as Mia Palau is still sitting in the penalty box. Ovarian Barbarian is your jammer for the Breakneck Betties. She comes up, gets a little love tap, finally finds an opening on the inside line. Bellstar tries to scoop her out, but is unable to make a good enough connection to bump her out of bounds. Ovarian Barbarian comes in very hot in between the corners of 3 and 4 at the top of the apex. She's trying to take that inside line. Excellent defense, though, being laid down by the Heartless Heathers. Everybody's getting low, and all 4 of those blockers are holding on to that jammer. Des is going to drop back and get a bridge going for him. Both of these walls right now looking impenetrable. Lethal comes up and tries to open something up, and she's going to have to drop back and also hold that bridge together. Ovarian Barbarian gets knocked out of bounds. Oh, and that's a great move. They're going to drag her back into turn 4. My apologies, that is IV Cardiac Attack. I've been saying the wrong name, but it is okay. She is fighting hard out there. She does get past, pick up all 5 of those points, and gets through, bringing the Breakneck Betties total to 10. 30 seconds still left in this jam, and we are not done yet. IV Cardiac Attack up against Lethal, and she is finally out of the pack. Calls it off, picks up 4 points. And we got a 1-point game. This is the kind of exciting thing I was looking for today. Both these teams come in with a tied record. They both have 1 win in this early season and 1 loss. Both of them have beat the High Rollers in their matchups against them and have lost to the Guns N' Rollers. There's Ovarian Barbarian. And once again, going up against Commander Balls. Toxic Haste was the last line of defense up against Ovarian Barbarian, but she does find an opening on the outside line in turn 2, and she is your lead jammer. Finally at the top of the apex, they pick her up and hold on to her, but she ekes right on past. I believe that was Des was the last person trying to hold on to her, but she's unable to contain. 5 points being picked up. Balls finally out of the pack. And the Ovarian Barbarian comes in, smacking her hips as she does a spin around that last player. They picked up 9 points on that jam. That's going to bring their total to 23 in this game, and Heartless Heather sitting at 15. I'd like to thank Tonkin.com. They're the largest selection of new and used autos in the Pacific Northwest, and they're only a click away at Tonkin.com. It looks like Tegan Iscaria and Beyond Thunderdame are your jammers in this jam. Tegan Iscaria getting a nice little smack from Ripley as she tries to work her way through. Finally finds an opening on the inside in turn 2, and she is out as your lead jammer. Beyond Thunderdame crashing her way through everybody in that pack. Nice offense did come to help her get free. Beautiful spin by Tegan Iscaria. She gets out in the straightaway, looks back over her shoulder, and calls that jam dead after picking up 4 points. I have a feeling this game is going to be just like we've seen so far. It's going to be trading blows. Both of these teams really, really good, and they are I think a good matchup for each other. They're well balanced against each other. In this next jam, you're going to see a slight pack advantage for the Breakneck Betties as one Heather is sitting in the penalty box. Toxic Haste is over there. Abracadaver is the jammer for the Betties. Comes in and crashes that blue wall. Headache trying to muscle through on the inside line for the Heathers. Finally has a little bit of an opening on the outside. They're having to bridge all the way out, and she does get free, but picks up a forearm penalty, and that is going to give a power jam up. It looks like Sprout of Control now has the star. I think she's shaking her head at the bench like, really? Now I got to go a whole 2 minutes. Sprout of Control, though, has the star. She's got it on her helmet. She comes in, does get free with a beautiful move on the inside line. JMFK looks like she gave her a little bit of help. And finally, Sprout of Control is free. Blast Unicorn dropped back. She is the GOAT. Blast Unicorn, of course, a old veteran here in the league. And that was a great move. If you saw that, what the Betties did was they held on to that GOAT, and then the pack formed in the back, forcing an out-of-play call in the front. Sprout of Control glides through in the straightaway, picking up another 4 points. 14 points so far in this jam. Headache is back. Levels Abracadabra, glides around JMFK. T Nasty's making sure everybody's okay. And while they're at it, Sprout of Control still up there fighting, trying to get past. Once again, we don't have a lead jammer because there was a star pass. So Headache's trying to make a little bit of points up as she had to spend 30 seconds of her life in that penalty box. Ripley picks up a penalty. She will be heading over and having a seat. Sprout of Control got knocked out. Toxicase drugged back. And just like that, Headache's through. Another 5 points being picked up. Looks like the Heathers have found the answer for Sprout of Control's scoring frenzy. And this jam comes to an end. 3 points picked up for Sprout of Control. 5 points picked up for the Breakneck Betties. For the Heartless Heathers and Headache. And right now, wow, that was one heck of a jam. What looked like it was going to be very lopsided, Headache came up and made the difference. She actually scored 18 points over 17 put up by Sprout of Control. The score right now, 37 for the Heathers, 40 for the Breakneck Betties. Via Palau is on the line, going up against Gallifrey. Gallifrey bumping on the outside line, trying to get through. What a fast move. Excellent lateral movement, and she juked all of those blockers out of their skates. It is going to be a foot race, though, as both jammers have got out of the pack on their initial. Belle Star sandwiched her in between her and Dez, forcing Gallifrey to call it off. She might have got past those two hips, but she was going no farther. 1 point picked up by Palau, and we are at 38-42. I do want to give a big shout out to Two Town Ciders. Two Town Ciders is damn fine cider made right here in the Pacific Northwest. Commander Ball's on the line. Ivy Cardiac also with her. Ivy Cardiac gets bumped out of bounds. Bellstar drags her back. Commander Ball's up front. Really did a nice job muscling around. Faked them out. They all kind of stayed in place as she ran around the outside in turn one. Ivy Cardiac trying to get that pass off. T Nasty looking back. Ooh, that's a risky thing she did right there. She passed right over all the Heathers' shoulders. T Nasty finally has that cap in her possession. Commander Ball's back in scoring position. She's already passed two, and JMFK finally caught a hold of her and guided her out of bounds in turn two. Bellstar dragging back T Nasty. T Nasty with that star. I think they're going to make her run this. Commander Balls, though, also slowed down as she is stuck behind a very powerful wall of the Betties in the top of the apex and almost moving backwards. Des picking up, I believe, an out-of-play penalty. Four points being picked up by T Nasty as she finally broke through to the other side. Two Heartless Heathers blockers now in the penalty box. Bellstar with a very nice move just gives a big shove to T Nasty and knocks her out of bounds. Fatality also over there as offense comes from the Betties. They are having to bridge it out, but either way, T Nasty picking up 4 points on that pass. This jam comes to an end. Betty's capitalizing on, on that I was going to say, but they did throw up 9 points. The Heathers threw up 9 points to the Betty's 8 points. Oh, there they go. They gave her them that last point. I figured they would. So we got a score of right now 47-51 with 15 minutes and 45 roughly seconds left in this half. I would like to thank WSL Leadership Coaching, helping you be more awesome in your work, sports, and life. That's WSL Leadership Coaching. Deegan and Scary on the line, going up against Ovarian Barbarian. Ovarian Barbarian kicked out in the straightaway by the Blast Unicorn. Blast Unicorn indicating, hey, everybody come back here and party with me. And they set up a really beautiful four-wall. Blast Unicorn keeps taking her back. And they do have the package. Ginger Raff is back there trying to play some offense. While they're doing that, Tegan Iscaria is out as your lead jammer. Ovarian Barbarian taking off that cap. She's now looking for a little help from her friends. Tegan Iscaria does sneak around the outside, picking up a grand slam, 5 points with all those players on the track. Ovarian Barbarian in possession of that cap is on her way around. Tegan Iscaria getting knocked out face down in the straightaway on the other side of that track for me. And this jam comes to an end. They have taken the lead, though. Heartless Heather sitting at 56, putting up 9 points in that last jam, holding the Betties scoreless. I would also like to thank Voodoo Donuts. The magic is in the hole, and proud sponsor of the Rose City Rollers and the Wheels of Justice. Beyond Thunderdame, also a member of the Wheels of Justice, going up against Headache. Headache going up a very slim pack out there. She gets around at the top of the apex, picking up lead jammer. Beyond Thunderdame, ooh, a nice crashing hit. He's still struggling to get through. In the back, Headache is already around and trying to fight through that pack. Beyond Thunderdame finally found an opening on the inside line and gets out of that pack. This jam comes to an end. 4 points being picked up by the Heathers as they are now trying to creep that score ever slightly up. I would like to thank Killer Burger. 5 minutes to burger, beer, and bottomless fries right here from the hangar. That's Killer Burger. Abracadabra on the line. She will be going up against Mia Palau. Both jammers have a pack that's moving. Nobody seems to be able to set a wall up right now as everything is in motion. It's kind of like watching Derby back in 2010. Oh, but there's a forearm call on Abracadabra. That's going to be a power jam for Mia Palau. Everybody's trying to bridge it out. Palau is now your lead jammer. Out of play penalty being whistled on Ripley. All right, Palau looking. She is up against T Nasty, and I believe your mom. T Nasty doing a very slow creep across and picks up a penalty. So T Nasty now heading to the penalty box. Palau is finally out of the pack. That might have just about almost been a penalty kill as Abracadabra standing in the penalty box. What a smooth move. Wow, give him a little bit of speed, and 5 points easily picked up by gliding on 1 foot on the inside line by Palau. Well, Abracadabra's got the cap in her hand, and they, Heartless Heathers, are not being fooled by it. I do see a cap did fall off of, it looks like Dez. I thought for a second it might have been the star, but no, it is not. And an out-of-play call that is going to be whistled, I believe, on Zeriosa. Well, as she was coming around, the whistle has blown, and the Heartless Heathers up with what it looks like right now, another 9 points. We got a score of 69-51 with 11 and a half minutes left in this game. I'd like to thank Deb Counts Tabor. Let Deb guide you home, proud realtor sponsor of the Rose City Rollers, and welcome to PDX.com. Oh, that was a great play right there. Gallifrey is your jammer for the Breakneck Betties. Quickly makes short work of that Heartless Heathers set up there. She is out as your lead jammer. Commander Ball struggling against the red shirts and just trying to will her way into turn number 3. Looks like there was a penalty that is going to be called on Farah Neris. And it looks like Blast Unicorn ended up with a star, but as she came leaping through everything, that whistle came to an end. 9 points put up by the Betties, and we are once again back to trading blows by these two teams. Right now we've got a score of 69-59 as they want to, of course, prove me wrong. As soon as I say a score, they change it. 8:08. Food so good, it straight broke da mouth. 2 locations, Burnside and Woodstock. Go check it out at 8:08. Well, we got Tegan Iscaria, team captain. She is your jammer. She's up against Ripley and Ginger Raff, who are really working her over in turn 1. Ivy Cardi attack for the Betties is out there, but all 4 of those blockers for the Heathers are surrounding her and not letting her get barely past the pivot line. Finally, she's starting to shake something loose as she had a little bit of offensive help. And a forearm call on, yes it is. Ivy Cardi attack picking up a forearm. That's going to put Tegan Iscaria in a power jam. Breakneck Betties already have 5 points on the board and looking for more. T-Nasty in the back is also back there with Ripley. And Tegan Iscaria is at a complete stop right now. Multiplayer block being called on Ripley. That's going to put a little bit of a pack advantage as here comes Belle Starr out of the penalty box. Out of the pack, Tegan Iscaria finally breaks out, picks up 5 points for her effort. Ginger Raff, I think she was looking at who was up front pressing against T-Nasty, and out came Tegan Iscaria, almost like it scared Ginger Raff. She didn't realize she was there. Well, that time she did get a body on her. Tegan Iscaria, though, is a wily one. She jumped around it, picked up 4 points on that pass. So far in this jam, she's got 19 points on the board. And that right there, ladies and gentlemen, really pushed the lead of this game up. They are sitting at 88 points. That would be the Heartless Heathers. And 59 points for the Breakneck Betties. They were held scoreless in that last jam. Black Cat Plumbing, your local neighborhood plumbing company and proud sponsor of the Rose City Rollers and the Wheels of Justice since 2009. Once again, that's Black Cat Plumbing. We've got a timeout down there on the track, and yep, they are. They're going to talk it over. That was a scoring frenzy, and that's one of those. That's a good timeout. You want to get your team back under control. Make sure everybody knows what they got to do out there. You want to put some points quickly on the board with 8 minutes left in this half, so that way they can try to tie it back up, get the momentum going back in their favor. A couple fun little facts. I don't know if you guys watched the game last night. We had a fantastic game here. Guns and Rollers right now are looking unstoppable on this 2018 season. They've got some great coaching going on there. Their players are all coming together looking great. And right now, the Guns and Rollers are 3-0. They beat the High Rollers. Unfortunately, the High Rollers are 0-3, have not won a game so far this season. So all teams have so far beat the High Rollers. But Guns and Rollers have basically taken everybody on and beat them. Both teams looked really good last night. There was one really good scoring jam that pushed that lead out there and made it untouchable at that point as they maintained that score and kept them in the deficit for the rest of that game. Well, it looks like this timeout is over. We've got Headache on the track, and she will be going up against the Ovarian Barbarian. Oh, Headache found the slightest little hole on the inside. JMFK tried to drop and cover that hole, but Headache is way too fast, and she found a way to get through. Ovarian Barbarian finally out. Oh, my gosh, she stepped out of bounds and bit it. Well, Ovarian Barbarian ended up sneaking through. There was a penalty on the track, and that's going to give her a power jam. So a quick 5 points thrown up for the Betties, and they could not ask for anything better right now at this stage in the game. Ovarian Barbarian gets through. Oh, that was a great hit right there. Zuriosa being able to hold her in just a little while longer, but when you're all by yourself up against a jammer and you're the last line of defense, there's only so much you can do by yourself. Betty's right now with 10 points. Headache served her time and is right back out there. I don't think any of the Betties seem to realize she came on the track, and a quick 4 points picked up by Headache. Well, leave it to Belle Star to drop the Ovarian Barbarian in turn 1. Ovarian Barbarian actually going pretty slow right now. I don't know if she got rocked a little hard by that. And while she was down, Headache once again coming off a power jam picks up another 5 points in that pass. She's through again with another 4. That's 13 points right now put up by Headache, who just had to spend 30 seconds of her life in the penalty box. Ovarian Barbarian right now trading scores. She picks up another 4 of her own. 2 blockers are only out there for the Heathers. They got a diet pack, if you want to call it that. Breakneck Betty's trying to slow them down, but it doesn't matter. She splits the difference, goes right between them. The Ovarian Barbarian through on another 4-point scoring pass. Headache gets knocked down. She looks at her squad and says, "Can I call this off? No? Well, the time's running out." So that jam comes to an end. The Breakneck Betties put up 23 points, and the Heartless Heathers put it up 17. Right now we've got a score of 105-82 as we have a official review being called out there. Well, our official reviews and timeouts, they are brought to you. They are brought to you by Porque No. They've got some fantastic foods, and it's a great taqueria. You definitely want to get down to Porque No. As I may have already mentioned so far in this game, both teams right now are 1-1. They have 1 win under the belt and 1 loss coming into this game. Last season, the Heartless Heathers beat the Betties both games they played. And but, you know, Heartless Heathers had a slightly different team back then. They actually had a winning record of 6-1 going through the 2017 season, where the Breakneck Betties were 2-5. So the Breakneck Betties already coming out looking a lot better than they had last year. Heartless Heathers, of course, went on to beat the High Rollers last season and the championship. And so that is something they're looking to continue that momentum going into this season. Looks like Mia Palau once again on the line going up against Beyond Thunder Dame. Both teams struggling with that tight wall, and no pack is called. Beyond Thunder Dame jumps out of the middle of that pack, and Beyond Thunder Dame is your lead jammer. Palau's going to play a little bit of jammer on jammer defense, trying to slow her down, guide her in. Blast Unicorn picking up a penalty, and she will sit in the penalty box. And it looks like Toxic Haze also picking up a stop block, I do believe is what they just called it. It's that chopping motion, but I sometimes can hear them from up here. And a forearm being called. That's going to be on Beyond Thunder Dame, and here we go. Palau in a power jam. And once again, there's only 5 blockers out there on the track. Breakneck Betties are going to set up in turn number 2. Here comes the offense. They gave just a little bump to get the wall moving. Palau knocked out of bounds by Ginger Raff. Goes to the outside line, though, and is through for a 5-point grand slam. Beyond Thunder Dame served time and is back on the track. They were waiting as it got there. Nice jump, though, right on past on that inside line in the corner, and 5 points put up for the Breakneck Betties. Palau stuck in the back, trying to work through, and Thunder Dame does a nice little spinning 1-foot move, picking up another 5 points on that pass. Oh, wow, everybody hit Thunder Dame right there. He's bouncing back and forth and back again. A nice little knockout. That last-ditch effort was by Sui Generous. But Breakneck Betties looks like they've put 14 points on the board to the Heartless Heathers 9. And we've got a 20-point difference in this game at 116 to 96. Heartless Heathers still holding on to that lead. I'd like to thank Blaze Streaming Media. If you're watching and listening right now, it's brought to you by Blaze Streaming Media. They are fantastic and all over the place. We've got Abracadaver on the line going up against Commander Balls. Abracadaver comes out first. Commander Balls picks up a back block call, and that is going to give another power jam up to the Breakneck Betties, who are in desperate need of getting back in this game. Oh, Belle Star with a nice hit. How Abracadaver stayed in bounds and on her feet is beyond me. I've had to take hits like that from Belle Star, and it is about as fun as it looks. It's not fun. Abracadaver gets knocked out of bounds on the outside line and the straightaway across the track. She realizes that Jammer was standing in the penalty box. She calls it off. She's going to ice the Jammer. That is a pun intended moment because Heartless Heathers, cold as ice. Get it? Huh. Anyways, as we continue to go here, I'd also like to thank the Buffalo Gap Saloon and Eatery, John's Landing's favorite eatery and saloon. I like this. They're going to put Gallifrey on the line. As you know, she's a very, very quick player. Here comes the offense. Wow, Ripley jumped in there and actually I think she was going to play some defense or offense for her Jammer on the defense and ended up hitting her Jammer. Belle Star stopped on a dime and had to let her go as out of play was whistled. Gallifrey is your lead Jammer. Here comes the offense from Sprout of Control. But wow, Gallifrey getting rocked by everybody out there. Almost looked like a multiplayer block, but Fatality and Belle Star dropped their arms just as quick as they could. Commander Balls did get out of that pack, but not before 4 points. Give me 8. Yeah, they're going to go out there and count on their fingers how many points really got up there. But needless to say, the Breakneck Betties are climbing right back into the driver's seat of this game. Right now, we've got a score of 116 to 110 with a minute and 15 seconds left on the clock. IV Cardi Attack is down there on the track going up against Tegan and Scaria. Still a slight pack advantage for the Breakneck Betties. They've got 4 blockers out there to the Heathers 3. IV Cardi Attack, nice move. She went from outside to in and then blasted up that outside line to get free as your lead Jammer. She's back around in scoring position. Dang there, did the exact same move on a second time around. Tegan is scary with cap in her hand. Finally finds an opening and is back out of that pack. IV Cardi Attack gets in, calls it off. Tegan Scaria got in pretty quick. She does pick up 3. What a great move. She got out there with a big old grin on her face like, oh yeah. But if you look at this score, barring any other changes in what's going to happen, we got a score right now of 119, 118. It's a 1-point difference. I'm telling you, folks, this is the matchup right here. Well, Headache jumps out and runs up that outside line. I don't know how come it's so open, but it sure was. Ovarian Barbarian stuck in the pack. She gets knocked out. I believe that's Dez taking her back. The whole team, though, is waiting for her. Oh, and a nice hit out by Belle Star on the outside. Back in the pack, Headache is running through, hits the top of the apex. Smelter Skelter is the last line, but is whistled out of play, and Smelter Skelter hit into the penalty box. Headache, though, back around, already has 5 points under her belt. Wow, that inside line was wide open. I keep talking about that lines. She loves to take the line. Well, here comes the offense once again, and Headache is around. There's one player left, number 9, your mom's favorite. Gave her a love tap. She spun out of it, picking up another 5 points. Sprout of Control now has the cap, and unfortunately is in the back of the pack. That's probably the worst place to be if you are a pivot with a cap in your hand. You're cursing your soul at this point and trying to figure out what you're going to do to get out. Finally, she found an opening and is eyeballing. Headache tries to take her out a little bit. She's going to slow this down, and they're going to have a little dance out there. There she goes. She knocked her out of bounds. Headache says, no. I'm done with this. We're going into intermission. 20 points put up by Headache. 20 humongous points. It was a 1-point game at the beginning of this jam, and now we've got a score of 139-118. Barring an official review or something else on the track that I am not aware of, we are in intermission. We're going to have some fun things like a bread toss going on. So if you ever come down to the games, we've got all kinds of great things that happen during halftime.
Hi, Mom.
And that was that was a hi, Mom, from one of my cohorts up here. I do also want to give one last big shout-out to Selwood Pet Supply, quality nutrition and supplies for your pets, and also PDX Pipeline, your online source for Portland music, arts, and events happening. All right, guys, I'm going to turn down my mic, let you guys enjoy the halftime show, and without further ado, I will be back in 14 minutes. Well, folks, this game is back underway. Oh, and they put the 5 seconds up, but then it looks like it was a little premature as we still got 15 seconds on the clock coming back into this. Well, you know, like I said, we had a game last night. We've got a game tonight, and if this is not enough roller derby action for you, we have a game tomorrow. It's a matinee for the Rose Petals and the Rosebuds. You'll see the Daughters of Doom taking on the Voodoo Dolls, and the Desker Derby Droids taking on the Undead Avengers. So, if you want to come on down to the hangar and enjoy some Junior Derby, it's a fantastic afternoon, fun-filled. This game is back underway. We've got Commander Balls and Beyond Thunderdame are your jammers out there on the track. You're going to see Commander Balls right now in turn 1, fighting up against T-Nasty and Smelter Skelter. JMFK looks like she wanted to play in the fun, but yeah, out of play. Or, excuse me, no, not out of play. Finally, Commander Balls found a way out of the game, out of the pack. And Beyond Thunderdame is also out on her initial. Commander Balls gets in there, tries to wedge in between a couple of the skaters, does, and actually picks up 2 points on that pass. So, you know, in the last jam of that half, you saw a 20-point jam put up by the Heartless Heathers. And Betties right now sitting at 118, Heartless Heathers at 141 after those 2 points scored. They, of course, the jam prior to the last jam were a point apart from each other. They have been trading blows. If you're just joining us, it has been a fantastic game to watch. Tegan and Scaria out like a bat from hell, and she is your lead jammer. Abracadabra is struggling right now behind Bell Star and company. Finally finds an opening on the outside. Dez wants to get in on that action, but there is a forearm. No, a cut on the track. Excuse me, the ref had a back to me, and it was a cut. 5 points picked up by Tegan and Scaria on that pass. And she is back in scoring position. Well, the pack is now moving into the top of the apex. Tegan and Scaria is on the outside. Ripley deterred her from trying to take the inside line, and a cut is called. No, oh yes it is. A cut is called on one of the Heartless Heathers. I believe if my old eyes are seeing across there, that's a Drill and Crush that picked that call up. Tegan and Scaria, in the meantime, runs along the outside with everybody out there, picking up another 5 points. Very tight wall. Everybody's trying to pick somebody off. Abracadabra is back out on the track, cap in hand, and gets kicked out of bounds by Dez. Very tough wall to try and get past. Bell Star now bumping out of bounds on the inside line and dragging her back. Tegan and Scaria getting taken out by Ripley. Bell Star very heads up, says, nope, you're going the wrong way. You need to go forward. Meantime, Abracadabra is out of the pack, cap in hand. Tegan and Scaria does get out on another pass, picking up 4 points. It's going to give her a grand total of 19. So in the last basically 3 jams, including the last one of the half, the Heartless Heathers have put up a grand total of 41 points. Now, as you know, in the game of Derby, a lot of points can be scored very, very quickly, but that is one way to do it right there. Headache and Gallifrey are your jammers. Gallifrey bounces to freedom as your lead jammer. Headache also gets by. That was a beautiful move right there past T-Nasty and stayed in bounds. I'm not quite sure how that was done, Gallifrey comes in very hot, commits a back block, knocking down Belle Star. Headache now is also trying to fight her way through, picks up 5 points. That's unfortunate for Gallifrey picking up that back block because they were in a position to start putting up a lot of points. Did you see that? Headache just took flight at the top of the apex, scooted past everybody's booty hanging out there. She comes in with precision sideways and splits that group open like a wedge would on a nice dry stump. 5 points picked up on that pass. So far she's got 15. They are on a scoring frenzy right now. They just can't, Betties cannot seem to find an answer to stop them. T-Nasty slowing down that jammer. Everybody joins in the fun. Sprout of control, knocks her out of bounds on the outside line. JMFK serve time comes back into this mix. Gallifrey also back into it. Runs right back up into Belle Star. Oh, man, she was jumping all over the place. Bodies are hitting the floor. She's out of bounds and does get out of the pack. 5 points being picked up on that pass. Oh, man. Well, it looks like Gallifrey took one to the chop. She's taking a knee. She took the cap off her helmet. She's going to sit out of bounds for just a minute. She's got 12 seconds. She's handing it off to Sprout of Control. Well, she was going to hand it off to Sprout of Control, and then she saw that wide open lane as everybody lined up on Sprout of Control. We've got 3 blockers from the Betties in the penalty box. Sprout of Control was the only jammer out there. Gallifrey got rocked, and she's now right now talking to her coach. They want to talk about it. I wouldn't be surprised if an official review came down from over there. Yeah, that was a pretty big hit and no call, and there was a couple folks all standing right there that should have seen it. IV Cardiattack's going to be on the line, and it looks like Mia Palau is going to be joining her with the stars on their helmets. I'd also like to give a big shout out to some of our favorite sponsors, the Portland Mercury, Trailhead Credit Union, Portland Vital Signs, Vacasa, and this is all back underway. Just like that, Palau is back out. They have picked up lead jammer quite a number of times here and have always been getting out to score. Nice bump out on Ivy Cardiattack. She's still trying to fight inside to out and back again. She's weaving back and forth, trying to shake something loose, but so far has not found an opening. Excellent lateral movement by the wall of the Heathers, and that's why they got such a humongous lead right now. Their defense just turned it up to 11. T-Nasty knocking out number 8. And drags her back, this China Doll Assassin, who was stuck in the back there for a brief moment. Finally, Ivy Cardiattack picking up 5 points. Well, still in a power jam. Ivy Cardiattack works her way around the outside, picking up another 5 points. Palau back in this game, jumping from outside to in and back again. She's got one player left to beat. JMFK, had her on the inside line. I'm not quite sure she actually did step out. Of course, she was feeling that rope on her toe stops. She probably knows better than I do. But she does make it out of the pack and picks up a 5-point pass right there. IV Cardiattack struggling right now to get past that wall. Oh, and they are, blocking with the head. She was going face first into Blast Unicorn. I figured that call was coming. That's a good call down on the track. Palau now has 4 red shirts swarming. And T-Nasty picking up a penalty, and we'll head to the penalty box. All right, this jam does come to an end. It looks like 10 points put up by both. Well, nope, and I lied. Betty's put up 15 points, 10 points put up for the Heartless Heathers. I want to thank a few more of my special sponsors. That would be Shebop, Kay's Bar, Bike Punk, Laurelhurst Theater and Pub, Fran's Bakery, and Red Bull. I'm drinking a Red Bull right now, and I just had to do that in order to throw all that bread down there that we did at halftime. For those of you who don't know Fran's Bakery, they've got fantastic donuts. Just ask my wife. All right, nice bump by Commander Balls, knocking Ripley out of the way. They have got another super light pack. There's 3 Betties in the penalty box. Commander Balls is going up against Ripley. Ripley with a gigantic hit, knocking Commander Balls to the inside line and making her come back. Well, she's got a little help, but here came some nice defense from the outside. That was Adrenaline Crush taking out Ripley. She says, no, you can knock my jammer down once, but you're not doing it twice. Breakneck Betty sponsors Kelly's Olympian. And Heartless Heathers also have a sponsor here, K-Fit, kick-ass fitness for women by women. Tegan and Scaria is your jammer down there. Ovarian Barbarian is also down there for the Breakneck Betties. Well, she got knocked out of bounds. Wasn't sure who knocked her out, so she's going all the way back. Ovarian Barbarian trying to get through. T Nasty tried to play a little bit of offense and finally drops back and plays a little bit of D. Zero out there trying to knock everybody around. Bellstar picking up a penalty. Says, nope, I did it. I'm going to the penalty box. And Ovarian Barbarian is out. Not your lead jammer, though. Slide opening on that inside line. She's now weaving between 2 skaters. Gets out. And a cut track call. Look at that. I was not expecting that because of that quick move, but that jammer or the jam ref was right there and had perfect position to see that call. Tegan Iscaria still trying to fight through this pack. Excellent work down there. T Nasty now's got a hold of her. JMFK is joining in the fun. And Sprout Controls bridging the 2 to fill that gap. Bellstar calling from the out of bounds as she's coming back in after serving time in the penalty box. Tells them just to hang back, keep it together. Great work, though, by the Betties. That's a penalty kill right there. Tegan Iscaria still struggling to get out of that pack. She has not put a single point on the board. Out a play hit on T Nasty. Ovarian Barbarian trying to fight through that straightaway. Gets knocked out of bounds on the inside line by Bellstar. Tegan Iscaria still struggling to get past that wall. JMFK takes her all the way to the outside of turn 3. Ovarian Barbarian comes in once again, goes backwards, does get knocked out of bounds by 0. 4 points, though, being picked up by Tegan Iscaria finally as she gets out of that pack. That was a testament to the strength of the defense by both of these teams. 5 points being picked up by the Breakneck Betties, but both of those jammers had to earn those points. Well, if you are ever down here, we're at Oaks Amusement Park, home of the Rose City Rollers, and a place to purchase all your derby gear. It's also a great place to skate and have fun during the summertime. Down on the track, we've got Headache and Beyond Thunderdame. Beyond Thunderdame just doing a great job muscling way through. Headache does come out on the inside line as your lead jammer. Beyond Thunderdame getting kicked out of bounds. Toxic Haste and Blast Unicorn did a great job controlling. They really are holding on to that jammer. And once again, those are 2 veterans right here in the Rose City game. Thunder Games indicating might have got hit in the face. This jam comes to an end. Headache picked up 2, maybe 3 points, depending on what they want to throw in the air there. And I'd like to give a big shout out to Garden Bar. We've got some concession stand over here that does serve the Garden Bar. So if you're ever interested in heading on down to the hangar, we've got some for sale here. If you are looking to eat that, Echo Construction. The people at Echo Construction love custom home building, remodels, and roller derby. Wow, there's a lot of whistles going on out there, but either way, Palau is out first as your lead jammer. Oh, and a cut track being called on Abracadabra. That was one of the penalties on the track. A gigantic hit, and Star is on the track. Smelter Skelter knocked out Bell Star. And it looks like Palau picked up a low block, and she is now headed to the penalty box. And as you folks know at home, anybody who is a jammer who is in the penalty box, if you are the opposing jammer and have to go sit there, you will only serve as much time as the jammer before you did. Abracadabra comes in very strong. She's up against Bell Star. 1 foot in it, does get kicked out of bounds, though, at the top of the apex. Forearm call going to be called on, I believe, Bell Star. Adrenaline Crush up against the back of, or on the front of Cadaver. Palau also came back in there, tried to go up that inside line, got knocked out on the inside at the top of the apex. Ginger Raff with a gigantic hit, but it was going the wrong direction. You know, it looked really good, but yeah, not the right way. Finally, Abracadabra is out, picks up 5 points on that scoring pass. Palau also out of that pack, picking up 4 points on that pass. We have 15 minutes and a half left in this game. 4 more points being picked up by Cadaver as she gets around on that inside. Palau, now everybody's got a hold of her, and they are pushing her out on the outside and dragging her back. T-Nasty's leading the way. But Bellstar says, I can go faster than you backwards, and takes back Cadaver all the way until time runs off. No points scored. Bellstar is making sure she didn't lose her point. I'd like to give a big shout out to WSL Leadership Coaching, helping you be more awesome in your work, sports, and life. Looks like the Breakneck Betties are going to call a timeout. We've got a score on the board of 209 to 156. In that last jam, the Betties put up 9 points, but the Heathers answered with 7 of their own. This has been a struggle for this half, I should say, has been a struggle for the Betties to get on the board. They have put up some points, but the Heartless Heathers came out with a scoring frenzy. And that's what has pushed this lead for them so far up in this game. Well, you know, while we're hanging out together, I'd like to thank Bridgeport Brewing. They've got some fantastic beer, and we have them right here at our concession. So if you're ever down at the hangar, pick up a cup of Bridgeport. We also give away some winners some free beer for the night. If you've got a lucky cup, you can get some free beer. You can see the bar for details on that. Lieutenant Commander Balls on the line one more time for the Heartless Heathers. Ivy Cardi Attack's going to be out there with her as your jammers for both of these teams. There's a slight pack advantage. It looks like Adrenaline Crush is standing in the penalty box. Across away from all of us here. Commander Balls comes in, scrubs her speed. Ginger Raff sits on her for a brief moment. And just like that, Ivy Cardi Attack is out first as your lead jammer for the Breakneck Betties. Definitely something they need right now is to get some lead jammers to put some points on the board. She comes in very hot, ends up running into the back of Adrenaline Crush and Bellstar. Bellstar taking her out at the top of turn 1 to the outside. Drags her back. All 4 of those blockers are waiting. Fine job holding it all together. Ivy Cardi Attack goes in very, very deep. Got to be careful with that. You don't want to pick up a blocking with the head. And it looks like Lieutenant Commander Balls does pick up a blocking with the head call, and she will spend 30 seconds of her life in the penalty box. Oh, and Ivy Cardi Attack picks up a cut in that power jam. that's okay. Hardly any time was spent in there by Commander Balls, and also hardly any time was spent in there for IV Cardi Attack. So both jammers back out there. We will go the full 2 minutes. There's 45 seconds left on the clock in this jam right now. IV Cardi Attack having to re-enter the pack as she was knocked out of bounds, and she comes back in turn 3. Ooh, a gigantic hit by Ripley on Dez, as Dez was the one who had knocked out IV Cardi Attack. Well, everybody's skating a little bit backwards right now as everybody keeps knocking their jammers out and dragging them back. Turn 3 right now is where everybody has come to a stop and all the defense is being set down. IV Cardi Attack now looking to take that cap off and possibly pass it off to Ripley. Nice defensive look. Ripley does get out of that pack. Zero is... Ripley got a penalty on that. Now, was she in possession of the cap at the time that she got the penalty? So I question whether it is a jammer penalty or no, it is not. It looks like IV Cardi Attack is sitting in the penalty box. Yeah, they're going to go ahead and give it to her. She is going to be the jammer of note. So the Heartless Heathers will start this next jam in a power jam. 5 seconds called, and everybody was back there talking to Tegan and Scaria. Here comes the defense. They've locked in on her, and here comes the swarming offense, for all dressed in blue. They come down and start picking off skaters. Blast Unicorn tried to open up something on that inside line. Tegan and Scaria could not get through. That was great recycling work, though, by the Breakneck Betties to reform around her, hold her in that pack. What a beautiful move by Tegan and Scaria on that inside. She did a little spin, loop-de-loo. She's back out, and she's your lead jammer. She quickly gets around there, and I don't know how the Breakneck Betties did not form that wall quick enough. No offense was played because Tegan and Scaria got through before they could touch her. Tegan and Scaria this time, they picked it up. They said, no, you're not doing that twice to us. We're going to go ahead and hold you right here. Sprout of Control looking back at her jammer. She's going to try and figure out how to help her out or get the cap one way or another. Cap is off in IV Cardi Attack's hand. We got some nice bridge. Toxic Case is coming back. And IV Cardi Attack is out of the pack with cap in hand. You know, that's a really great way of using your pivot. Whether or not your pivot can or cannot get the star, if you can find an opening hole, now that you've given them 2 targets. Tegan and Scaria comes in extremely hot to the back of the pack, hits player, picks up a back block as she rocks her to the ground. So now we've got another power jam. IV Cardi Attack takes the cap off. Is trying to pass it off to Sprout of Control. I almost kind of question whether or not this is a great plan, but, you know, 3 points put up because she hadn't passed all of those players. Sprout of Control, though, now has the star and comes in against that blue wall. Splits 2 blockers in the back, drops them both as she goes. But now they've all got to their feet, and they've got her stuck on that outside wall. She tries to get through, gets knocked out of bounds. She's on the ground, and now she's looking back. 3, 2, and 1. She's going to let the time tick off as Tegan and Scaria comes back in. Starts to try to bust through players. Does pick up 2 more points. She puts 11 on the board in that jam. And the Breakneck Betties have put up 7. We've got a score of 219 to 167 with exactly 10 minutes left in this game. I want to thank OHSU Sports Medicine. They are proud to be the official medical care team of the Rose City Rollers. That's OHSU Sports Medicine. Headache down on the line is going up against Ovarian Barbarian. Ovarian Barbarian with a beautiful move on the inside, but here's Belle Star. And as you know, Belle Star, she is a bundle of fun. If you got to go one-on-one, she'll make you pay for. She did get by Belle Star, but man, she got roughed up. Well, here she is again. She's back around on her scoring pass, and now there's a full pack wrapped around her. Toxic Case is going to drop back and try and be a bridge. Here comes Ripley, was going to play some offense, and I don't think she needed it. Ovarian Barbarian is out, picking up 5 points on that pass. That was a grand slam. Both these... Headache did finally get out. She had the cap in her hand. She's going to drop it on her helmet. There is a cut track being called on Ovarian Barbarian. That's going to put Headache now in a power jam. Once again, this jam is going to go the full 2 minutes as Ovarian Barbarian was the lead jammer, but now she's in the penalty box. Toxic Case gets taken out by Ginger Raff. Yeah, I didn't think Ginger Raff stepped out of bounds. I think Headache did. But Dante over in the corner makes everybody play to the rules. So now Headache is going to sit in the penalty box for the next 30 seconds. Ovarian Barbarian serve time, busts through, picks up 5 points on that pass. This is exactly what the Betties need at this late stage in the game. Very, very tight wall. Ovarian Barbarian down on the inside line. There's one player left to beat. Ooh, she glides past. She did stay in bounds. Gave enough time, though, for Blast Unicorn to get up there and hold on. Toxic Cakes out there with her. Very odd turn and twist. Headache, though, snuck in while I was looking the other way. She quickly gets through that pack and picks up 5 points. I think she blew everybody's mind from the Breakneck Betties. Ginger Raff was in the back. Very powerful hit on Headache. She could only pick up 1 point on that pass. Breakneck Betties end up with 15 at the end of that jam, and 6 points put up for the Heartless Heathers. We've got a score of 225, 182, 7.5 minutes left in this game. I want to thank Tonkin.com, the largest selection of new and used autos in the Pacific Northwest, only a click away at Tonkin.com. Palau on the line. Abracadabra is her cohort with the star. Sprout of control knocking out Palau. Cadaver's got one person left to beat, but as you know, that's Belle Star. Belle Star gets up there, gives a nice big push to the outside. Cadaver does manage to stay in bounds somehow, and she is out as your lead jammer. Well, she is back in. Dev gives her a love tap on her way through. I think she might have kept her in bounds, but hitting a down skater possibly, I think, was the call. They're doing that karate chop move, but unfortunately it does encompass a few different penalties, and I believe it was the down skater. Well, that's going to leave Palau as the only jammer in there right now. They are bridging it out. They've got JMFK stuck in the back as the GOAT, so they're trying to push it out of play. Ooh, and a cut track. Yeah, they were not out of play. So she just cut that track, and that is going to put Palau back in the penalty box. And that is going to put Abracadabra looking to take the long way home here. She's going all the way around the track rather than going the short direction, but that's going to give her a lot of speed. She comes in. Bellstar uncharacteristically gives her the side of her body. Abracadabra makes her pay for it by rocking her to the ground. Again, she finds that seam, takes out Bellstar, who is sitting on the ground going, are you kidding me right now? Well, Dez got her up front, and so does Fatality. Dez ends up taking a seat. Abracadabra says, no, this is going to be some hard-nosed derby tonight. Palau tries to come in and scoop her out of bounds. She's like, no, I'm not going there either. Oh, that time she came in and hit the direct back of Dez. I'm surprised there was not a call on that. That looked pretty square on the back, but Dante was down front. He's got a better angle on it than I do. Palau right now trying to get through. A multiplayer call is going to end that half, or that jam, on Fatality. Tarantula wants to go in and talk a little bit about some things. Official review coming. I figured it would be 14 points, excuse me. Let me get my math right. Put up by the Breakneck Betties. We've got a score of 225, 196. I'm going to remind everybody that all of our official reviews and timeouts are brought to you by Porque No. This is a taco timeout. They've got 2 locations, and it's a fantastic taqueria right here in Portland, Oregon. So I'm going to speculate, and we've got an official review down there. I'm almost betting that official review is going to be asking for a back block on that jammer. That's just my speculation. I don't have any proof. I don't know what Tarantula's thinking, but we will know sooner than later. And while I'm sitting here wondering and pondering, well, here comes the...
Betties have gotten lead jam on Red's jammer and the previous jam. So far, every time the Betties have gotten lead jam this half, they have lost it to a penalty.
Yeah, they are going to ask for a penalty on that jammer. So we shall see what comes of it. I do want to thank Two Town Cider. Damn fine cider made here in the Pacific Northwest. That's Two Town Cider. Well, the Betty fans down in front of us are trying to do a chant and blast Unicorn out there. Long time, Heather. She's trying to get the Heathers chant going. I always enjoy it when you're here in the hangar. You get to hear all the fun stuff that happens down on the track. And as you know, this being fantastic Derby town, yeah, the crowd really gets into it. Well, we've got about 29 points separating these two teams. It's the penalty was reviewed. The penalty will not. The play will stand as it was. There was not enough evidence anywhere on the track to indicate that there was an infraction on the power jam or on the jammer. So we will not see a power jam. Beyond Thunder Dame is your jammer down there for the Breakneck Betties. Commander Ball's out there for the Heathers. And Beyond Thunder Dame is out as your lead jammer. Excellent. Just muscled her way through that line and ended up going through on that inside line. Commander Ball's locked down on the outside part of that. Beyond Thunder Dame finds an opening between a few Heathers, gets right on through, quickly picks up 5 points, and now we are in a power jam, blocking with the head call on the Commander Balls out there, who is the jammer for the Heathers. 2 blockers up front. That's going to be Blast Unicorn and Adrenaline Crush. They could not hold on to Thunder Dame, and that right now is going to put 10 points for Thunder Dame. We are 19 points apart on these two squads. And once again, Thunder Dame in a power jam, getting kicked out of the top of the apex. Everybody's getting worked around. Thunder Dame has 1 player left to beat. Last ditch hit. 15 points now on the board for the Breakneck Betties. They are creeping right back up in this game. We just hit the 4-minute mark. Thunder Dame coming back around for a little bit more. Oh, and Thunder Dame steps out of bounds in the straightaway. Fatality dragging them back. They're going to set back up in the back of that wall. Commander Balls up against the back of Lethal. They have the pack with them. Out of play is Coel. They ended up getting everybody together. But Fatality's picking up a forearm penalty there. Thunder Dame calls this off. Dame is getting up a little slow. I know. Dame did a lot of great work out there. But yeah, hope everything's okay. So with that, it looks like Toxic Haste has a star in the penalty box. I have a feeling somebody, I wonder if Commander Balls, did she fell out? I can't see the penalty board from this angle, but I'm almost curious if there was something like that. It looks like there is a timeout on the floor for the Heartless Heathers. We have an 11-point game. 18 points were picked up by Thunder Dame in that last jam. We've got a score of 225, 214, 322 left in this game, and wow, this has been something else to watch. If you guys are just picking it up at home, this game looked like it was going to get pushed out of control in this second half after them trading blows the entire first half, and now the Betties showing who they are, getting right back in this game. Deb's Counts Tabor. Let Deb guide you home. Proud realtor sponsor of the Rose City Rollers, and welcome to PDX.com. Voodoo Donuts, the magic is under hole, and proud sponsor of the Rose City Rollers and the Wheels of Justice. That's Voodoo Donuts. This jam is back on. Breakneck Betties are in a power jam. Once again, Toxic Haste is your jammer in the penalty box. Ovarian Barbarian is out of the pack as your lead jammer and on a scoring pass. Bellstar is back waiting. Oh, she splits it. Oh, but gets glided out of bounds by Dez. I have a feeling, yep, a forearm call is going to be called on Dez. She did. She forced her down with her arm. Bellstar out there to tenderize the Ovarian Barbarian, but she was still in play. So 5 points now picked up by the Ovarian Barbarian. And it's now 6 points separating these two teams. Two blockers are out there. Adrenaline gets crushed, gets dropped. T-Nasty took out Bellstar. 5 points picked up. It's a 1 point game. Well, there's a pile up and a forearm call, and that's going to put the Ovarian Barbarian in the penalty box. I wonder if she picked up points on that pass or did not. Toxic Case is back out there. Sprout of Control and JMFK are holding her down. Bridge work being set up. T-Nasty's the last line in that bridge. Oh, and that was a beautiful hit by Sprout of Control. Just dumping Toxic Case in the straightaway and taking her back. This is incredible derby right here, folks. If you are just tuning in, holy smokes, what is going on? Toxic Case now looks completely winded after spending that time in the penalty box. She's looking back and talking to her folks. She gets knocked out of bounds by Sprout of Control. Sprout of Control taking her back. Bellstar saying, no, everybody, let's skate backwards. It's going to be like reverse skate over here at Oak Sprink. Toxic Case takes off the cap. Dez gets kicked out of bounds. She's looking for Dez to take the cap, but that ain't going to happen right now. Ovarian Barbarian's back in. She's now got a whole line of folks she's trying to get through. Smelter Skelter trying to play some offense on the inside. Ovarian Barbarian's taken out by Fatality. Fatality picking up a forearm. Dez finally gets the cap. Tries to get out of the pack. No points picked up by Blue in that pass. How many points were picked up? They're going to talk about it real quick, and I'm wondering if she picked up points out there. 13 points put on the board. The Breakneck Betties, with 1:17 left in this game, just took the lead by 2. We've got a score of 225-227. They came out of absolutely nowhere to just claw their way back into this game, and it's beautiful. This is the kind of hard-nosed derby that we all like to see. All right, we got Team Captain Tegan Iscaria, and we've got Beyond Thunderdame. Those are going to be our jammers from each team out there with the stars on their helmets. Their Fatality is the only player in the penalty box, so there will be a pack advantage for the Breakneck Betties. They have corrected the time on the clock. It looks like 1:20. This game is back underway as timeout has come to an end. Everybody's going to scoot back, and they're going to sit on those jammers on the jam line. Tegan Iscaria comes up that inside line, mighty hot. Thunderdame goes right through the center and just trying to power through. Tegan Iscaria up against Ripley now, gets taken out at the top of the apex. Ripley takes her back. Wow, she came in pretty hot. Thunderdame, and Thunderdame gets up a penalty. Thunderdame's going to sit in the penalty box. Tegan Iscaria now is your lead jammer. 57 seconds left on the board. They are down by 3. Tegan Iscaria comes in. She's up against Ginger Raff. Ginger Raff pushing back. Lethal up against her. Ripley holding down that brace. Palau tries to come in and plays a little bit of offense. There's a penalty, direction of play that is going to be on, I believe. Yes, it is. Palau is going to head to the penalty box now after picking up that penalty. And she's going to pick up an extra 30 seconds, so she's going to be probably sitting there for the rest of the game. Here comes Thunderdame. Thunderdame serve time. Thunderdame goes right on through that wall. They were not set for that. They were not ready for that. And you've got to look at this late portion of the game when you've got a jammer like Thunderdame coming at you. 15 seconds left on the clock. This jam comes to an end. 5 points picked up by the Heartless Heathers. They are going to take the lead by 2 points with 12 seconds left on the clock, and a timeout is called. Five points picked up in that. 1 point was actually picked up, so now it is a 1 point jam. Holy smokes. Hope you kids at home are watching this and enjoying. Yeah, I think they're going to turn down my mic because I got a little rowdy there. All right, so coming out to the line, you are going to see Abracadabra for the Breakneck Betties. All 4 of their blockers are on the track. once again, a double penalty called on Palau, and so there will only be 3 blockers out there for the Heathers. Headache is going to be your jammer of note for the Heartless Heathers. She has had a fantastic game. Can she continue at this pace? I know they rely heavily on her. I hope fatigue has not set in because she still has 14 seconds to do something to try and hold on to this 1-point lead. Abracadabra, who has just been brutal this game, is out there, and I could not think of a better jammer I'd want to have. Oh, the timeout being called by the Betties. They thought it was the whistle. The Heathers, timeout's being called on the Betties, for the Betties, I should say. Abracadabra, right off the bat, as soon as she heard that whistle, leveled Headache. I love that quick hit. I have always loved that quick hit. It's kind of the essence of Derby for me. It's one of those things where jammers just collide because, rather than just thinking only about scoring, hey, let's get some knockdown time of our own. Tarantula out there talking to the referees. She wants to make sure that everything is going good. Everything's right in the world. They want to make sure that the calls are going to go the way they want them to. Of course, that's only if you lobby enough and get the plan. All right, Heather's going back. Bellstar's whispering sweet nothings and headaches here. I'm sure they're going to come up with a plan. They are going to be short, like I said, for probably about another 40 seconds with Palau sitting in the penalty box. All right, now we are going to have an official timeout. If you remember right, all of my timeouts are Porque No Taco timeouts. All right, well, that was a very, very short timeout. But, yeah, there was a lot of chatter going on. We've got 14 seconds once again. 2:30 for the Heartless Heathers, 2:29 for the Breakneck Betties. Jam 15 at half number 2, and this jam is on. Abracadabra, they scrubbed her speed. She is right up against Bellstar, and Adrenaline Crush. Headache up front is pressing against those red shirts. Ripley in the back. T Nasty trying to hold it down. JMFK is also in there. Abracadabra got pushed out of bounds. Bellstar taking her back. She tries to go to the inside line. Also gets pushed out again. This pack is getting spread way out. Here comes Abracadabra. She's got a head full of steam. She hits that wall and goes nowhere. Cut track being called on Headache. Oh my God, we've got a power jam. Abracadabra getting knocked down by Dez. And I want to say that's going to be a blocking to the head. Yep, when she blocked, she was blocking a player that was down on the ground. She hit her in the head. Abracadabra is out of the pack. She stayed in bounds off that little bump. And she is now your lead jammer. And they're only a point down. Palau comes in. She gets knocked down. Abracadabra comes up. Here comes T Nasty. She plays a little bit of offense. Bellstar takes her out of the top of the apex. They call this off. Does she get the points? 4 points picked up. I want to make dang sure I called it before they did it. 4 points picked up. We've got a score unofficial, 233-230 at the end of this game. Those refs are all going to come together. They're going to make dang sure this type of heavy-duty action is called correctly before we call it done. We've got a final score. They're not going to go back and review squat. Well, folks, this was the game I was hoping to see. They came in 1-1, both of them. Both of them losing to the Guns N' Rollers, both of them beating the High Rollers. Tonight's matchup was exactly what I expected. They clashed, and they clashed hard. We've got some great matchups in this game. Both of these teams had excellent defense. Both of them have really good jammers, and both of them played hard all the way to the last jam. Once again, final score 233-230.
All right. Ripley, Thunder Dame, congratulations. Who is your most valuable blocker?
Dez.
Dez! Dez, MVP blocker right here. All right. Sassy and Yaya, who is the most valuable blocker for the Betties.
Ripley!
Ripley! Ripley! Do you want to be the most valuable blocker? All right. Hang tight here. Most valuable jammer for the Heathers tonight.
That would be Commander Ball.
Yes, it would. Balls. All right, Yaya. Most valuable jammer for the Betties. I think I know who it might be.
Dame.
Thunder Dame! Let's get a picture of the 4 of y'all, 5 of y'all here. Thank you so much for being here tonight. One of the best games of the year, obviously. And we'll be back at it to Roller Derby Juniors tomorrow. And we'll see you next time. Thank you again.